In November, President Trump and Republicans really received a very powerful mandate from the American people. They wanted to make certain that our border was going to be secured, that we were going to strengthen the economy, get inflation under control, rein in wasteful government spending, and get ourselves back on track. Make America great and prosperous and safe and secure once again. By passing the One Big Beautiful Bill, we delivered on this mandate by securing the largest tax cut in U.S. history, including reduced taxes on tips and overtime, a $6,000 bonus deduction for seniors, and the permanent extension of President Trump's 2017 tax cuts. It also reduces the burden of the death tax for millions, providing critical relief for family-owned businesses and so many of our nation's farms and farmers. It bolsters our armed forces with a $150 billion increase in military spending. It provides the largest ever investment in border security so that we can indeed complete building the wall and also hire new Border Patrol agents and officers. It strengthens Medicaid by rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse. It restores fiscal sanity by eliminating hundreds of billions of dollars in far-left spending. And the list goes on and on. These are all enormous wins for Tennesseans that I represent, and indeed for all Americans. But our work here in this chamber is far from over. At the top of the list, we have the need to confirm President Trump's nominees. The president deserves to have his team in place to enact his agenda. But instead of working with us to carry out the will of the American people, our colleagues across the aisle have chosen to obstruct at any cost. Right now, we have 130 pending nominations. People that have been through committee, their paperwork is in, their questions are answered. Mr. President, all they need is a vote in this chamber, and there is absolutely no reason that we should have this backlog, especially when you look at the importance of these nominations. U.S. ambassadorships to the Vatican, Netherlands, Chile, Greece, and the European Union. 7 federal judgeships, U.S. attorneys, undersecretaries for the Departments of Veterans Affairs and the Navy, the Commissioner of the Securities and Exchange Commission. That's just a brief, partial list. Now, our Democratic friends are trying to slow down the process on these nominees as much as they possibly can. They lost at the ballot box. They have lost in the halls of Congress. They've tried the courts, and they've lost in the courts. So obstruction and stalling is what they have left as they try to spite the president. They might think that they are hurting just the Republicans or just the president, but you know, Mr. President, what they are doing is hurting the people that they are elected to represent. Every single day that goes by without these nominees being approved and getting to work on the job, then those nominees are not able to work on behalf of the American people. And unfortunately, it is the people that suffer because agencies are not fully staffed and can't make responses. You have individuals that need help with VA benefits or help with an agency with an item of concern. And at this point, they are understaffed. With the recent disclosures from DNI Gabbard, we're learning even more about how President Obama and the Democrats manufactured the Russia hoax to try to derail President Trump's first term. And I bring this up because their obstruction is nothing new. When they run out of different roadway and different avenues and different opportunities, they've got one thing left. And as I said, they've lost at the ballot box. Here in Congress, they've lost at the courts. So now what they do is try to obstruct. And we know from the documents that have been released concerning the Russia hoax that the Democrats were hard at work on this in 2016 and 2017 with President Trump's first term. For months, far-left activist judges undermined our Constitution by blocking lawful orders from the Trump administration in a brazen effort to decide nationwide policy. Their abuse of power only came to an end when the Supreme Court reined in those district federal judges and said, no, you have no ability and you have no right to issue nationwide injunctions. And more recently, we've seen Democrats try their best to obstruct a core part of the America First agenda, and that is securing our southern border. Americans want our border to be secure, and they want criminal, illegal aliens removed from their communities. Across the country, ICE and the Border Patrol agents have been hard at work carrying out this mandate and arresting criminals who have absolutely no right to be here in our country. Well, the Democrats are working to vilify and undermine our brave federal law enforcement. We've seen congressional Democrats try to storm ICE facilities, including a House member who faces federal charges for assaulting a federal ICE officer. They've smeared ICE agents who are risking their lives to protect our country, comparing them to the secret police and Nazis. They've pushed legislation that would prohibit officers from wearing masks, exposing them and their families to targeted harassment. This is all happening as ICE officers face an 830% surge in assaults. That's correct, 830% increase in assaults. Just this month, far-left criminals ambushed officers at an ICE facility in Texas, shooting one officer in the neck. 3 days later, a man sent 3 people to the hospital after firing dozens of rounds at a separate Border Patrol facility in Texas. These brave officers deserve our total and undivided support, and the American people deserve to have elected representatives who protect their interests. That's why Republicans are working to do every single day, working to protect our nation's citizens. And nothing, not even this obstruction that continues every single day by the Democrats, is going to stop us. Mr. President, I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.